Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back subbies, and if you're new here, hey friend. Today I am going to be talking about prayer and manifestation. I'm basically going to be telling you how you can make your desires a reality. But before I get into this video, I'm going to need y'all to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you can see when your girl posts videos. So manifestation is basically bringing something tangible into your life through attraction and belief. It's the practice of thinking thoughts with intention with the purpose of these thoughts becoming reality. What most people don't know is that your mind creates your reality. What I want you all to do is train your mind to embody your future self right now. That is the first step in really just believing that, hey, I can manifest this, I can pray about this, and I can turn my dreams into a reality. I can make this my life. There are a couple of ways to manifest. So what you want to do is you want to think about your life and where you want it to go, what direction you want your life to go in. It's best to think about it and think about it in detail. Change your thought patterns from doubting it and believe it. I know what I like to do is I like to start off by speaking things into existence. If you have a certain goal that you want to meet by a certain timeline, you want to be detailed. You also want to be detailed with what you want. For instance, my situation, I want to get my degree in finance, so I just will literally voice that whenever I'm speaking things into existence. For instance, let's say your goal is to get a new car. And you have a certain timeline, or let's say you don't have a timeline, but you know that you want this specific car or whatever. It could be a Volvo or anything. You would just speak that into existence. Or let's say you plan to better your life financially. You want a higher credit score or you want a bigger savings. You have to speak that into existence. You have to be very intentional and you have to be detailed. And not only do you have to speak these things in existence, but it's best to write these things down, okay? Make a list of your goals, short term and long term. And then not only that, ask yourself, how am I gonna make these goals happen? How am I gonna meet my goals? You have to really put a plan behind it, and then after that you have to take action. People think that manifesting is just speaking things into existence and that's that. And that is so unrealistic. You cannot just say, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire one day. Well, how are you gonna be a millionaire one day, and when and how? You know, you have to be realistic with the goals that you set for yourself according to your lifestyle. You can't just look at somebody else's lifestyle on social media and think, oh, I'm gonna be just like that. I'm gonna do what this person does. I'm going to make as much money as this person does. You gotta realize what your situation is, and you also don't know what that person has done to get to where they are or what their circumstances were. So I'm not saying don't dream or don't want or don't have goals. You can have big goals to small goals, but you have to be realistic with those goals. And the best way to do that is to really start visualizing not only where you want to be in the future, but who you want to be. That's the most important thing. You want to visualize who you want to be, and you want to start embodying that right now, okay? Like, I don't know if y'all have seen this quote, but I freaking live by this quote. Visualize your highest self and start showing up as her. You shouldn't wait until you get that dream job or you get that dream home or you get that dream car to really act like you the shit, because you are the shit now. You need to start acting like you are the shit now, because at the end of the day, all of that stuff you may want, that means nothing if you are not right inside here, and if you can't be grateful for where you are right now. And you also have to enjoy the journey of getting there. So when it comes to taking action, let's say you have a goal to where you want to lose weight and you want to start living a healthy lifestyle. That is something that you're going to have to implement, and that's something that you won't ever stop implementing, because this is a life change. So let's just say 2020, I gained a lot of weight during the pandemic, and I want to start losing weight, and I want to start eating healthier because I want to feel better. You know, I don't want to feel sluggish anymore. I don't want to feel sleepy anymore. Guess what I'm going to do? I am going to speak it into existence. Guess what? will live a healthy lifestyle. I will lose this weight. I'm not only going to write it down, but I'm going to write it down and make a plan. I'm going to start counting my calories. I may even adjust my grocery list to where I am replacing certain food items with the healthier ones. You know, you got to do what works for you in your situation. You're not going to look at these influencers and think, oh my gosh, they shop at Whole Foods and they're fit. I need to go shop at Whole Foods. You do what works for you according to your budget. Like I said, be realistic with what you want and implementing your goals. So that's what I mean by taking action. You have to take action. Like for instance with prayer. When it comes to praying for something, you can pray to God all day long. You can have faith that it's going to happen. But guess what? It's not going to happen if you don't put in the work. Because faith without work is dead, okay? So you have to really, those things go hand in hand. So you really have to take action behind this, or else you're just going to be a dreamer. You don't want to be a dreamer. You want to be a dreamer and you want to try to make those dreams a reality. So just like you speak your goals into existence and you write them down, you want to talk to God about those goals. Your relationship with God is important, and I don't know about y'all, but like I have a relationship with him to where I pray every day. And I don't just mean like formal prayer or whatever we were taught in church. I mean, I have a conversation with him. You know, if I'm unsure about something, I'll question him. I'll tell him to guide me in the right direction. I'm going to lay out my goals and my wants and my desires to him. And he will let me know whether that's for me or that's not for me. And throughout your journey, you want to also continue to pray. Let's just say you find out, you know what, I am going in the right direction, but you're still feeling discouraged. You have to ask God for the strength to keep going forward. You have to ask God to encourage you. Because I'm telling you, the journey is not easy. Like when you want to make a lifestyle change, or you want to make a change in general, not only to your life, but to your mindset, it is going to be hard. It's not easy work at all. Your journey is going to consist of failures, which then will leave you feeling discouraged. And you may even fall into a depression because you feel like, okay, I'm just going through the motions. And all you can think about is the future and how hard it is going through the motions and how sucky it is. Let's just say you're really not in shape, but you're looking at this body that you desire and it's just sucking. You just feel sucky. You're not seeing the results fast enough. So then you start doubting yourself and you start getting depressed, you know, and you start thinking about what you are not. But at the end of the day, you're not really focusing on the right thing. You should be enjoying the journey and then focusing on the progress that you've made. Because the thing about it is, you may not be where you want to be, but you doing what you're doing now is way better than what you weren't doing before you even started this. And that brings me to another thing. Don't give up. Like, do not give up. It may be hard. You may feel discouraged, but you just cannot give up. Because giving up, honestly, that's worse, because you're going to feel bad about giving up. You're going to wish that you did not give up. And I'm sorry if I keep looking at my viewfinder. I'm really trying to train myself to look at the lens because, y'all, this camera, I'm like getting used to it. And I'm just trying to make sure the lighting is good because, not to get off track, but like the sun is going down because unfortunately we're still in that, oh, it gets dark at 5 o'clock era right now. So, but yeah. So excuse me if I keep looking at the viewfinder. I hope it's not too distracting. But no matter how discouraged you get, do not give up. Do not give up and protect your energy. If you find yourself too focused on the end result, then stop. Stop looking at it. Stop focusing on that and just focus on the task at hand, okay? Even if that means you have to freaking like leave your phone in the other room or freaking get off social media or whatever. Do what you have to do to focus on the task at hand. Focus on those actions that are very, very essential to your progress. And sometimes the people that we surround ourselves with can have a really big impact on either our motivation or our discouragement. So you want to protect your energy at all costs. Some people they live for projecting their fears and their doubts onto others. So you have to recognize who that is in your life. And you don't have to tell your goals to everybody. Tell your goals to the people that you trust. If you want something, know who you can talk to. And you don't always have to tell people. Just leave it between you and God. Write it down. Make a vision board. And just keep it, so that way maybe a year from now or 2 years from now you can look back at that and you can look and be like, oh wow, like I forgot I even put this on my list or my vision board, and look at what I manifested. Look at what's come true, because I've done that before too. I've made lists. I used to take a marker and write down what I want the most on my mirror. So every time I got up and I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, this is a constant reminder of what I am living for right now, why I am doing what I'm doing right now, why I'm taking actions, you know. And I would always question myself, am I doing what I need to do in order to make goals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, make it a reality, make it happen? How am I doing that? And I used to always obsess over the timeline, the time. I used to try to rush myself. But at the end of the day, you have to be realistic with your life and your lifestyle and do what works for you. For instance, if you tell a friend who decided to go back to school and they ended up giving up because they felt like the work was just too hard for them due to their circumstances, due to them maybe being a parent, or maybe them just not being able to focus because of work, you know, working a full-time job and going to school is not easy. And you tell that friend, oh my gosh, I decided that I am going to go back to school because this is what I want to pursue and this is my reason for that. And they tell you how hard it was for them. But not only that, but they try to discourage you from going back to school because of their failures or what they went through. And that, my friend, is called not only discouraging you, but projecting their fears and doubts onto you, because your situation may be different, or it may be easier to work something out with your job versus theirs, or maybe it's easier for you to maneuver your schedule than it is for them. That is another example of that. So when you have certain people in your life that do that, not that they have ill will or they mean you any harm, but sometimes they do it without realizing what type of impact that may have on you. Protect your energy, protect your goals, protect your future. I'm going to tell you about my testimony. At the beginning of 2021, I just felt like I just thought about my future, and I just thought about where I wanted to be. And the last job I had, you know, there were so many things that I wanted for myself. But then I realized, if I stay at this job, I'm not going to get to where I want to go. It's not giving me, I just couldn't envision being where I want to be, staying at that job. I got in my comfort zone. I stayed in a department longer than I should have. And then I just got off focus because I was so comfortable. And one day I said, I have to take action if I want to meet my goals. Like I mentioned earlier, I am in school for finance and I wanted to get more experience. And in my position, there was only so much experience that I was going to get. So I decided to not only write down what I needed to do, but I decided to take action. I knew that first of all, I needed to update my resume. So not only did I update my resume, but I decided that I needed to utilize the resources on campus, because my school where I go to, they have career coaches, career counselors, all that jazz. So I utilized my career department of my school, and I decided to do some research, and I saw that in order for me to even be able to get an appointment with this career coach, my resume needed to have at least an 80 score using VMOC. So I decided to use VMOC. See, these steps keep coming. I used VMOC and I got a horrible score, like a 60 something. And I was like, you know what? I have to make this work. Like, I have to make this resume work. I have to put in some work for this resume. And I did just that. It was difficult for me because it's been so long since I touched my resume. And not only that, there were so many different things that I did in my old position at my old department. And you know, when you're not constantly updating your resume, you tend to forget those things that you do or that you did. So I literally had to go back and research my job descriptions and decide what I was doing and what I wasn't. I had to really sit and think and remember, what did I do? Okay, I did this, I did that. What's a formal way of putting that? What's the best way to put that in my resume? And eventually, after it took some time, but eventually I was able to score an 80 on VMOC and get my appointment. So I got my appointment with my career counselor. I told her everything. I told her my goals. I told her what type of job that I was looking to get. And she really, really helped me out. Not only that, but I was able to utilize some of the groups within the school. One thing she told me was join an organization, because the fact that you're in college, you're a full-time worker, joining an organization will make your resume look even better. And not only that, but that could also help you make connections and go to attend job fairs. There's so many benefits to joining an organization. So I chose the organization that would be right for me, considering that I'm a full-time worker, parent. So I did just that. And immediately after joining this organization, I realized, like, wow, like, I'm meeting with companies. I'm learning about like how to score internships, how to get jobs, and it just really taught me a lot, and it benefited me a lot. So that's why it's always good to use your resources and really just research. So with that, I decided, okay, I need to create a LinkedIn. Did just that, updated my LinkedIn. And then after that, I started to apply to jobs. Not only on LinkedIn, but numerous websites. I started to apply to jobs. On LinkedIn, I started making connections. And that sort of kind of discouraged me because it wasn't the right connections. There were a lot of people on LinkedIn that claimed they had a position available, but they really didn't have a position available. They were just trying to get to you, talk to you, and they wanted you to join basically what was not a full-time job. I knew what I wanted. I knew I did not want something to where I had to continuously sell and work my behind off just to get a paycheck. No, I needed consistent money. I needed a consistent paycheck with a company that I could retire from, okay? I needed consistent money. I needed to know what I was gonna be making every week. That's what I wanted. I wanted a full-time position. And I made that very clear. And I just kept looking for jobs, I got interviews. Some interviews I bombed. Some interviews I thought I did very well and still didn't get the job or the call back. I even utilized this system on my school's website to where you can conduct mock interviews. They ask you questions. You get to practice answering those questions over and over again using the camera feature, which worked out perfect. And not only that, one of my classes that I was actually taking at the university was actually helping me update my resume, helping me do mock interviews. Like, all of those assignments consisted of finding another job. So I was like, wow, that's a sign I really am going in the right direction, because I wasn't sure that that class was going to actually be doing all that. So in the midst of trying to help myself, I was actually getting help from a professor just by attending this class that I needed, you know, that was required for my degree plan. So like, everything was really just working out in my favor. But although it was, I still was just getting discouraged from all the no's or not hearing anything at all, and not giving up despite of how discouraged I felt, and not letting my discouragement make me less enthusiastic on interviews, make me less focused on interviews. I ended up landing a job. So basically, I actively started looking for jobs in February or March of 2021, and I actually ended up getting a brand new job with a great company at the end of August 2021. It took all of those months of me really just working, just staying on top of it, just really feeling discouraged but not giving up, continuously looking and searching, and then I finally found the job. Okay, not a job, not another job, the job that's gonna get me experience. And I've been learning a lot, and it's a great culture, and I really like the people that I work with. Sometimes you go through it. It's manifesting and prayer. It's not gonna get you what you want overnight. You have to really work for it, and you have to be intentional with what you want. Okay, you have to be very intentional. Never stop putting in the work, and never ever ever stop manifesting and praying for what you want and asking God for guidance on how you can get there. 2021 has definitely been a year of change for me. There are things that I wanted to happen that I visualized for myself later on down the line that ended up happening like way sooner than I thought. There were some unexpected things that happened that I never even thought about, that I never even manifested, but things happened that I actually needed. A lot of times we manifest and we pray and we just keep working, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all the things that we may have manifested years ago, all of a sudden they just happen back to back to back to back. It's like okay, you getting your blessing. Not only are you getting a blessing, you're getting blessings. Okay, it's like back to back to back. Oh, you thought, this is what you thought. You thought you was gonna give up. You thought that you was gonna doubt yourself. Bam. And then bam, and then bam, and then bam. Has anybody else, leave it down in the comments if you have gotten blessings back to back to back to back unexpectedly, and you're like, oh my God, you know, and it just affirms everything that you've been working for, that you've been working hard for, and it just comes out of nowhere. And it just comes when you least expect it, because you think, oh, maybe this will happen years from now. You visualize it happening years from now, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, your time is now. Okay, like Issa Rae said, me season. It's me season. Have y'all ever had a year like that where you're like, it's me season, it's me season? I'm not just talking about no New Year's crap. On New Year's you like, oh yeah, it's me season, that's right, like, yeah, this my year, this my year. Like, no, like everything that keeps happening to you is stuff you've always wanted, or you may not have even thought was reachable. So you never even thought, oh, like this is something that is in my grasp, like, and then it's happened. Yeah, it's definitely your season, boo. If that's happening to you, that's definitely your season. With all that being said, the main thing that I want you all to do is I want you all to be grateful and to be happy with where you are now. And in order to enjoy the journey, you have to be okay with where you are now. It's not wrong to want more for yourself. It's never wrong to want to grow, to want to learn more, to want to level up, you know, because situations change. We all get older. We all end up changing our minds about what we want to do. We all end up going on different career paths, you know, because there are different seasons to everything. And not everybody will retire at a company they started at when they were like 20 or 18 or whatever. Like nowadays, it's just so much that's attainable. There's just so much that you can grasp. So there are different paths that you're going to take throughout life. So that's why it's always good to just be grateful and be thankful with where you are now. Like, yes, I was feeling discouraged about not getting jobs after interviews and all of that. But you know what? I was still thankful for the job I had. You know, I was still thankful for the job I have. I didn't stop working hard. I still did what I had to do. Although I did want to move on to another company. So you cannot be ungrateful. That's one thing you cannot do, because if you can't be happy with where you are now and grateful, then you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be looking for that next best thing, and every time you get it, you won't be able to enjoy it, because you're always going to be searching and searching and searching. You know, you can always want more for yourself, but you have to be happy with what you have and where you are right now. Enjoy your journey, because when you look back, you want to be able to say you enjoyed your journey despite the failures, despite the discouragement, despite the self-doubt, despite the depression. You want to say, I made it through. I got this. Whatever battle comes next, I got it. But yeah, that's basically my 2 cents on manifesting and praying, because guess what? It freaking works. Okay, it works. So I really hope you all enjoyed this video and I was as clear as I wanted to be. So if you like this video, give your girl the big thumbs up. Also, do not forget to click that subscribe button and the notification bell, so that way you can see when your girl posts videos. Happy 2022, and I hope that you get all that you desire.